Hello and welcome to Medieval Dynasty. Well, as you can see, it is dark, it is winter, but the good thing is, winter's almost finished actually. Let's have a quick peek. It's getting on to about 9:15, and there's really no point me to eating anything or drinking anything, because we're going to go into a new season. As soon as I go to sleep, all those counters will get reset, which I really like about the seasons. There's no real incentive on your last day to stuff your little cheeks and eat a lot of food and whatever. It's just kind of pointless. So we are going to go to sleep, and then we'll wake up and it'll be spring. Oh, well, ooh, ooh. Let's see. A travelling merchant passing by tells you his wares and blah blah blah, blah 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 for a fair price. Now, from what I can tell, it's a case of if I give him 200 coins, I'll earn 500 skill points in diplomacy. I don't think I can choose that option because it says you need higher than 10 diplomacy. By the looks of it. I've got a choice to decline, but if I've got the money, as far as I can tell, if it's green you can do it, if it's red you can't. I think that seems to be the basics of it. So 500 skill points in diplomacy actually might be quite useful. Ooh, we've learned a few things, but we've lost a lot of money. Part of the reason that... Oh, dry. Yeah, I forgot spring means taxes. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. Part of the reason I did that... Oh, I'm bouncing around here. Part of the reason I did that, and I don't know if it's relevant, is there's a new patch come out. Yes, I know about taxes. Yeah, part of the reason for doing that was that there's a new update come out, which actually allows you to build your own market stalls, which sounds really cool. So if you go into buildings, if you go into, I don't know why it's under storages, but right under there's a market stall option. Now I'm way off the amount of technology because I'm just barely getting started. But it seems you can actually set up market stalls. You can either sell things, or you can get your own people. You can assign people to actually sell things for you. So if you're actually making a lot of produce, that would be like, it sounds extremely useful, because instead of you having to take all your things over to like a nearby village and sell them, if you can sell them in a market and get the money, that would be brilliant. I mean, hopefully we won't be getting anybody pocketing all the actual money. I mean, hopefully it'll go to the kitty for this place, but we'll have to see. But at this stage I'm a long way off. Right, so anyway, we got 500 skill points in diplomacy. So like I say, I don't know if it necessarily counts towards it or not. I honestly don't know. So I'm hedging my bets here. Let's see, how much money have we got left now? Oh wow, I've got 34 coins and I need 400 to pay the taxes. Oh dear, that could be bad. Right, anyway, since I've actually spent all that money, then I better put this to use. So, I mean, there are choices. I mean, the Diplomat one, basically that means you just get more dynasty points back. There's the Romeo one, which means you'll get more back for affection. Now, the good thing is, as far as I'm aware, let's see, so... We go to our management. Who's living where? Right, okay, so let me just check. So I'm playing two different versions. Ah, now this is interesting. Yes, this is another thing they've changed. Now, I wasn't quite sure if I'd actually done, getting this far in the game or not. But they've introduced a new feature for flirting, so that might be something to try out actually. So I mean, it's tempting to just keep beefing up the diplomacy knowledge, because once you get married, this can all get reset anyway. But seeing as I want to get married, because one of the big things about this game is the whole idea is about dynasty. The idea is if you die, it's game over. Whereas if you've got offspring, then, well, yeah, that's brilliant, because you end up with somebody to carry on your lineage. But I really like to put points into that one. So this is more or less just like a one-off, because once you get married, that's it. We're pretty much finished. Let's see. Now you could put. I mean, that would be useful because you'll get more points. Well, you're putting a point into this bartering, which means you'll get better selling and buying prices. Empathy. Yeah, you can get personalities. That's interesting. Well, anyway, I'm going to put that into. Well, I'll put that into the diplomacy, because the idea is the more experience I get from this, the quicker we'll be able to turn it over. Right, let's just try this just out of curiosity. So if we go to option, yeah, that's another interesting thing, is you can actually ask for directions to places. So like, where can I go and find farm animals? Specifically, where can I get, say, some goats from? Denica. Oh, that's good. Vendors. Let's say I want somebody who's going to be able to do animal husbandry, for example. An animal breeder. Pigs. Woolnicker. Okay. Thank you very much. So that's another interesting thing that I've done. Now, let me take a closer look at you. Now that's a useful feature as well. So, actually, no, that's not, because we've already got her into our village anyway. It just looks different because it's got that little icon over her. Right, I thought that was something that it's not. Right, anyway, romance. Where are we up to? So we're at 32% affection. Now, this is something else they've actually introduced, where what you can actually do is you can purchase gifts and you can actually gift them something, and that should help as well. So yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, let's ask her a question. Oh no, that's 32% affection. Now, interesting enough, it's not telling me anything about my chances, because before, even at like 90 something affection, still weren't like anywhere near getting actually married. It still didn't give you much chance. But you can ask more interesting questions now. Whereas before, it used to rotate between about like 2 questions, and you didn't get very much options. Let's just see if we can get any information out of that. Alright, so because that was always the one thing they had, was that there was usually 2 questions you could ask. Usually one of them was one-sided, in other words, where you're bragging about yourself, and that would never work. So it was always a question of trying to find out what that person was interested in, and asking them a question about that. So like, for example, some of them, you just weren't interested in gossip, for example, whereas some were. But you just didn't have any idea until you actually asked the question. And then you find out, it's like, oh yeah, that's, the affection's either gone up or gone down. Anyway, how are you doing, beautiful? Right, so, now usually bragging about their bodies and that sort of stuff usually doesn't always work. That tends to be a bit more in the line of gossip. Oh, now that's interesting. See if she's interested in jokes. Do you know why bears would never use swords? Because they always fight with their bare hands. I like that one. Yeah, she liked it. Okay, good. Let's try another one then. Because at some point it's going to run out and only ask. Now, yeah, there's no point at 44%. I don't think we've got pretty much choice. Oh no, that's interesting, so I can actually scroll them down as well. Yeah, so that's a compliment towards her, but let's see. Oh yes, so we've got that, right, okay, so boosted up to 55%. So we haven't stopped at this point, because normally it runs out after about 3 attempts, I think, at least it used to. Yeah, I don't think that's probably a good question to maybe ask. Yeah, see if she's interested in this sort of thing. No, so she wasn't interested in that. Ooh, in fact, she seems to know more about it than we do. Okay. Now, is that going to stall us? Yeah, that's kind of stalled us because we hit a 0. Although there might be just a certain number of questions you can ask. Now the thing is, if I actually had something for her, I could actually give it to her. Whereas you couldn't do that before, it was just a series of asking questions. So that's not too bad. So I've got to wait until the next day until I can ask her again, but we're up to 55%, which is actually quite good. In part, that's because I boosted my chances there. And like I said, I mean, that's pretty much just a one-off. Because it's specifically for flirting. And once you get married, you can actually ask your wife to reset your skills. So, interesting. Now that's interesting. I don't seem to have changed the. In fact, they've changed. That seems to have changed a bit. Or has it? I don't remember there being any railings. I could be wrong. But somehow it just seems to stand out. I don't remember that. Right, so it's a new season and there's nothing around this particular car. I would have expected that might have reset, but still I be. So I'm just thinking what to do now, because one of the things I really want to do is to be able to get into the farming. Because once you get into farming, I mean, the trouble is, I mean, I've got to get 2,000 points before I can get a stable, for example. And I need a stable if I want a horse or if I want to get like a donkey. So a donkey will be good for getting around on the map, you know, carrying lots of goods. A horse, on your hand, is going to be really good for just getting around quickly. But that's 2,000 points away. We're only at 10, so that's not doing too well. And that's one of the things here is get 250 reputation if we complete this. So what it wants us to do is to build a barn and plough a field or make a field. Now it also boosts your limit, because at the moment we're limited to the 10 buildings. I'm just trying to remember. I think we built the smithy over there. We've cleared this sort of area out. Question is, can I build a barn yet? So that's a barn mark 2. So if I build a barn and I build an actual field, that should help me get a lot more dynasty reputation. Now the taxes, we owe quite a lot of taxes now. What I've found is you're supposed to pay these in spring, but you can't actually let it slide. You just start accruing penalties. But I've actually paid these later in the year, so I haven't sort of getting some sort of warning before where, you know, we get into summer and all of a sudden it's, oh, you haven't paid your taxes, and you know, you start getting into trouble. I've gone into another year, and then you end up with there. See, it says 405 taxes owed, but we're on 0 debt. So you can actually accrue debt. So if you go into the next year because you haven't paid the taxes, and then you build up debt. And there's I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's a limit as to how far and how much debt you can have before you go, well, that's it, that's the end of the game. I'm trying to get my bearings again. Right, so I want to be in here and see if we've actually got any logs. 1 log. Wow, that's useful. So I'm going to have to start chopping some more trees down. Get myself quite a lot of logs and build a barn. And then the plan is basically, I want to be able to get a lot more experience from the farming. I'll get more experience if I do it myself. So I'm quite tempted to just basically, you know, do all the farming myself, and then later on I'll get somebody else to do it, because there's no particular rush at the moment. But yeah, quite a few logs to chop down. There's going to be sticks to gather, all sorts of things to build that barn. This is a bit odd, I'm finding. Just because the way the... I mean, I was wanting to actually build a field like this, out there, and kind of line it up with a road, but there seems to be obviously a certain grid that you've got to use, which is a bit of a pain, because it means my fields aren't going to line up now. So, I'm going to end up with like really strange fields now. I do like that it at least tells you, you know, the size of the field. This is just strange. Once I start them over here, maybe I'll just end up with weird fields. Yeah, it's intruding right into the pathway. This doesn't seem to make any difference which side I start from, if I recall. You know, I'll start there, for example, and see it's still insisting on going in that direction. Oh, that's a pain. It's a pity I can't sort of like rotate them or something. That's just about on the path. That's not too bad, a 6x6 field if I do that. Then obviously I'm going to have to get a hoe from somewhere. Actually, since it's spring. See, look, I don't like that. You end up with this big, massive gap and everything. It's just, yeah, I don't like that because I've got all the trouble of building the roads. But for whatever reason, the actual fields are going to be a bit messed up. Let's go to buildings, farming. Yeah, for some reason it's insisting on this weird direction. Right, well anyway, one thing I've just realised is I've got all my fur clothes on. So I can actually take them off. There's no point wearing them. That should free up. They don't weigh that much, I must admit. But I'll leave them in here. So that's all we're wearing at the minute. But I don't have a hoe, do I? I need that to be able to turn over the soil. Let's have a look. Let's see if I actually put it in here, maybe. Got a wooden shovel. Well, that's not much good to me. That'll come in useful afterwards. I need an actual wooden hoe. Can I make one? Handcrafting. Yes, I can. Oh no, that's interesting. It hasn't insisted I actually do anything with the farm. Learn something new every day. Right, so I want to put the slot one airflow on. Because if you have a look and see how much skill I've got in farming, it's probably next to nothing. Well, literally nothing. So we're on 0 of 100. And then that'll give us like choices of like farming knowledge, skill farmer. That one's more interesting to me because I'll be able to turn over the experience. I'll get more experience back, so I'll be able to turn this over a lot quicker. Technology wise, you only need, well, we've got as far as 10 in technology to get, you know, to have been able to build a barn. The next thing we'll be able to build is an actual hen house, but the yeah, you need animal feed, and it's not exactly cheap, I must admit. So at the moment we're on 0, so that's pretty easy to do. We've just got to go around and do this. Now, I I could have actually, so like recruited someone and got them to do this sort of thing, but as far as I'm aware, I don't get as much experience because of it. So there is some sort of shared experience going on because of the recruitment that we're doing. And you can see at the moment we've got these, it's like fence posts that are marking out where the actual field is. Now once we actually clear it out, they'll all disappear. I'm running out of stamina. So yeah, so we've actually got to go around and plough all of this field so that it's ready. Just by doing that, we're going to get some experience. Interesting to see how much we just do in a 6x6 field. It's obviously backbreaking. Stamina's going down extremely quick. See, there you go. As you can see, the field's ready. It just looks, looks a bit odd, I must admit. So it's all cleared. So the next thing we'd have to do is actually get fertilizer. So you can actually buy the fertilizer, or you can get rot, for example. Once you get the barn built, if you've got anything that's rotten, so it appears to keep a hold of any food, for example. If that rots, you can actually turn that into compost. Or fertilizer in this case. Let's see if there's anything. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything in there. Usually tend to see some after a. Yeah, so I've got like 55 rot, for example. So I could turn that into something, but what I really need to be doing is getting the actual the barn here built. That'll get things turned over. I must admit, I do like the help that you get with this because it gives you interesting information. So it's saying like that, you've got to grub the field to clear out basically, and then you've got to fertilise it, then you've got to plough it again to get that fertiliser worked into the soil. Then you've got to put the actual seed in, but you need a bag to do that, and you can only grow certain crops at certain times of the year. And then it's a case of, right, once they actually harvest or ready to harvest, then you can, some of them you can collect by hand, some of them you need a sickle or a scythe. There's a lot to it, and all of you'll get experience by doing it. Like I say, you could actually get an actual NPC. I think there's quite a lot of NPCs you can hire, because you'll hire some people to actually work the fields. You'll hire some people to say maybe actually make things, for example, for you, because you actually get quite a lot of seeds back at the end of it. You don't just get the actual the vegetables and so on. I mean, you don't necessarily even have to do like vegetable fields, you can do orchards as well. But yeah, you can hire NPCs to just work on the fields, and then there's the stuff that goes on inside of the actual barn to actually turn those into something. So you don't just necessarily get food out of this. Right, so I need a lot of logs, I need a lot of sticks, so we'll be back together in a lot of resources, although I suppose we could, I'll get quite a few of these with the hoe, not the hoe, the shovel. It was getting a bit late there, so I thought that I'd get some sleep. So, it's a new day. Let's see if we can get somewhere further with Matilda here. So, 55%. So, no, I'm not going to ask that one. We'll try that one. Oh yes, 66%. Cool. That's an interesting question. You should get. Yeah, this could go either way, but let's ask. Why not? Oh, actually, I know. I'll ask her that one because that's a compliment to her. So, ooh, 77%. Oh, yeah, it could do. Oh, 83%. So that's about as far as we can go, so I can't even... I mean, potentially if I had something I could offer us something, but... Right, anyway. Where did I get to? So I need... yeah, I need some more of these tree trunks. I'm leaving some of them. I'm still scratching my head trying to figure out whether taking the trunks out will stop the trees coming back. Because obviously I want to expand the village. On the other hand, I do want trees that will regrow. Otherwise, we'll just literally run out of trees. Because you've got to have somewhere to get trees and to be able to get your things like your firewood, for example. So I've got to have trees somewhere that are going to grow back. Now this is where it gets interesting, because the next entry, there's nothing from Unigust yet, but yeah, we've actually got to make a bow, start hunting deer, wolves, wisent, which are kind of like buffalo or bison, and then also a bear. Now for that you get 500 dynasty reputation, but it also boosts you to a building limit of 25. Now, not doing too bad, 9 of 15. Time is it? It's only getting on 9:30 in the morning. Now, one thing I'm puzzled over is why I'm not seeing any traps around here. There's nothing on the radar either. I should at least have a trap out there that's getting me some food. Let's put that out here for now. I don't think it really matters where you put it, to be honest. Right, so hopefully then that'll start getting us some meat from the rabbits that we catch. Now if I go into here, I'm going to grab all of this rot. Now I can find my way back out again. We can go into the barn, because there's all sorts you get. I mean, go into the threshing floor here, for example, and convert, straw from the wheat. We'll get it from what's left of the oats, from the rye, but you'll also get flax stalks out of the flax. If we come over to here, this is where, I mean, none of this is unlocked, but you can start making flour, for example, out of these things. So there's different crops there. If we come over to the workbench, so here we've got rot, so I can actually turn some of this rot into fertilizer, but you can see I'm limited to 5, waiting 10 fertilizer. It takes 10 rot to make 1 fertilizer. So I'm just going to dump that in there. If I can find where it was, yeah. So it is possible to get fertilizer for free. But what I can now... Oh no, I can't. I need a bag, don't I? The thing is, I can't make bags yet. I don't... If I want to make a bag... we need to get to the sewing. Yeah, we need to be able to make a sewing hut. Let's have a look. So technology, crafting. Yeah, so we need 100 out of production, and then once you can get there, then you can make things like a bag. I mean, it will cost me, but you need a bag to be able to do that. Now, for me, it kind of makes sense to probably head over to the actual village. I'll head over to where Unigost is. I don't think I've actually kept anything that I can sell. I might sell some of these spears off, for example. Is anything in here? Don't particularly need that. I've never used that, to be honest. Yeah, I could really do it. I mean, how many sticks have we got? Oh, 1,000. Wow, 1,273. So she's actually making some logs and planks, which is interesting. Sticks. But I can actually turn a lot of this into wicker baskets. I destroyed that, didn't I? Drat. Yeah, I mean, I can make stone knives, for example. The trouble I'm finding with those, it's trying to get the stones. It's best to get those sort of stones during, say, like the winter. Autumn's not too bad, but I tend to find it's difficult to find any stones this time of year. I mean, if you wander around long enough, you will run into some, but it's much easier to find them during the winter. In which case, I'm actually tempted to build a workbench. Put that back again because I don't have the building limit now. So, yeah, I think I'm going to make one of them, and then I can start to make wicker baskets because I can actually get something pretty reasonable, I think, money-wise, by selling wicker baskets. What does he want? Task, can I help you? Have you heard anything interesting recently? That's new. Gostovia has a quest for us. Okay. Right, what do you need doing? Oh, you want an axe? Okay, you can have mine then. Yeah, sure, you can have mine. So that's giving me 15 dynasties, that's alright. Let's see if we can sell some bits and pieces off to Matilda here. Ooh, have you heard anything interesting? Corniger, okay. Right, so there's a bag. Now, a bag's going to cost me... simple bag's going to cost 60. Wow. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell you my cudgel. I'll sell you 8 of these knives, so we're getting 120. You can have the spears while you're at it. Fishing spears going for 40. point selling the resources. You don't get much for resources. I don't have any actual little wicker baskets there. I think they turn up in there. It's things you can sell. Right, so we're on 227, in which case I do want to buy that bag off her. Wherever that shows up, wouldn't it? Simple backpack. Let's just go back to everything, that's probably easier. Right, so I buy a simple bag from her for 60. Thank you very much. So we can now head back, although I want to have a quick peek and see what these looking to do. So there's only Oswalda here now. She's at 2. She doesn't have anything higher than a skill set of 2. Put that in the slot. Actually, put that in the slot 1. I'll make myself some spears, because just on the off chance I do run into more of these links. So I don't think they're going to come after me, I think they'll run away. But I know there's sort of like wolves sometimes show up down there. Sometimes I can run away from the actual boars, but not always. Sometimes I've actually got to deal with them. I can at least spread the fertilizer. So I've got to select a seed. In this case my only choice is going to be the fertilizer, which is that one. So because we're in spring, we could plant wheat, for example, oats, flax, carrots, cabbages, beetroots, onions, and also poppy seeds if we wanted to. And then we're into orchard stuff, all the different trees we can grow, all the different things from there. That's quite useful. But in this case I've got to at least start with some fertilizer. So you put that in the bag, select it, and then what we can do is we can basically spread that about. I mean, I don't particularly have much, but it's quite expensive. Right, so there's nothing left. So what I can do now is grab the hoe, and then I can work that into the actual field, and then what I'd be able to do is actually plant the seed, but obviously seeds do cost money. I mean, the good thing is though, I mean, once they actually grow, you do get some more seeds back. So what I tend to do is I'll probably buy a certain amount of seeds, and then what I'll do is I'll just I'll let them grow, I'll harvest them or later on, and then I'll be able to get more seeds back, and I'll still have some vegetables. So that's quite good, I must admit. Right, we should have a lot of sticks then, in which case I want to see what I can get out of making these wicker baskets, because we've got a lot of sticks in here. Is there any resources I can transfer over? That'll do for now. Just run around a corner, head over to our workshop. So I need to buy that scheme. So it's cost me 50 coins. So I can make 32 of these wicker baskets. So that's going to take a while probably. Right, so that took quite a while, I must admit. I mean, the good thing is, I mean, you can obviously improve that, speed things up, because if we go over to crafting, yeah, I've got quite a ways to go to get up to 750, but you see there, for example, if you put XP into that, put a point into that, we'll get our crafting done much quicker. But just out of curiosity, see 32, 35, so let's see how many of these more we can make, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can sell those off, see how much money I can get. We'll make, say, maybe 40 of them. Barnum over there, he's got like a level 3 in what looks like his survival. So that's that one there. The thing is, what I need is, I mean, I need a hunter. So if we go over to a hunting lodge, it shows you the different sort of people you can get. So you can get somebody who's got that survival skill. You can use them just to gather berries. Now the only drawback is we're into the last day, and the chances of me recruiting him might be quite slim. I do have 3 houses as far as I recall. Yeah, we've got 3 houses, so it's probably worthwhile. Just double check. Yeah, so it's probably worthwhile, because I mean, it'd be useful to have somebody who can gather food. What did I ask? Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's interesting. They've definitely changed that part. So let me ask him anyway. Normally, normally you'd go and just get familiar with the person. So they've definitely changed that system. So let's try this. Oh wow. Okay, that was a lot easier than I expected. Oh, whatever happened to? Hey, whatever happened to diplomacy and what have you, where you actually try to improve them? This is just what? That I'm gonna have to a look into this, because that's very odd. That normally that's how you improve your diplomacy skill, is you talk to people and you try to get them to sort of like you and basically improve the approval. Okay, right. Well, anyway, I need to assign him to a house. So obviously he's not overly enthusiastic because he's got nowhere to live. So there is an empty house that we've got for him. So I'm going to put him in that house, because I'm trying to get Patilda to marry me, not him. Right. So I can also assign him to a job. So I can assign him to the hunting lodge. And I can get him to be the gatherer. So now it says there's no food and there's no wood. Now that's not a problem, because he's the gatherer. So if I go and have a look at the hunting lodge in detail, so he's busy out there. So he's going to start, I mean, it's springtime, so yeah, there's not a great deal. I mean, you should be able to go and get things like these herbs and what have you. I think there might be some mushrooms out there, but when we get into summer, at least he'll be able to get more mushrooms and more berries, so that'll help us a lot. But I need to be able to make a bow to hire somebody to start doing the hunting, because that's what I'm interested in mostly. Hello, what's that? Oh, right, so they're just complaining there's no food and there's no firewood. Right, well, he hasn't got there yet, so I think we'll let that slide. I'm just going to have a chat with Alwyn here, because it's the first time we've met by the looks of it. Yes, indeed, we are new here. Okay. So you're the... Yeah, so Alwyn's a farmer. So he's got... I must admit, he's got an interesting side set of quests that we can go through. Yeah, so at this stage he's kind of bored with doing the farming, basically. So what did he ask us to do then? So he wants a stick. Right, so that was it. Yeah, I remember that. That was easy enough. That's how we're going to fix his tool. There you go. Have a new handle. Okay. Right, so that deals with that part of it. So basically what we've got to do is we've done a quest for him, and we're just going to have to come back again. Right, now, so he doesn't sell any, so I need to find somebody who sells things. I don't think she sells... So, you never know, it's worth asking, because I want to see if I can find a vendor who'll sell, like, gifts, for example, because this person, she sells food. Because so she's looking after the tavern. So there's all this different type of food you can buy. But no signs of... Yeah, she doesn't deal with... Well, she does sell hops, mate. Oh, okay. Poppies. Oh, actually, there's a thought. Oh, no. I'll forget that. Actually, that's what... I keep forgetting. I came here to sell all of these baskets, didn't I? Right, so if we sell you... So they show up in here. Ooh, 532. So I've got enough to pay the taxes, but... Yeah, I suppose I should do, really. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Based on experience anyway, so far. I mean, it is early access anyway. So things could change somewhere down the line where you do get penalised straight away. I just want to try this. Oh, that's a thought. Yes, I came here to buy some seeds, though, didn't I? Oh, right. I'm not going to risk that because of the time. If I don't get that quest done for him by tomorrow, by the end of the day, we'll roll into the summer, and that quest, I'll forfeit the quest, and it'll cost me Dynasty reputation. So, what can we buy from him? Oddly enough, buckets of milk, so I see what he means. So what you can do is you can buy manure, for example, and you can actually turn that into fertilizer yourself. But later down the line, what you can do is you can actually get your own pigs, and you can get the pigs to produce it for you. So then you become self-sufficient. The only drawback is then you need animal feed. So he's got a quest. I don't want to pay the tax. The trouble is, I think if I go to him, he'll pay the taxes straight away. Alright, so you're a traveller. Ah, Fubar. Yeah, so she's a craft. She can do crafting, but she can also do diplomacy. And I'm wondering if that diplomacy will be something we'll use for the traders when we start selling our own things. So she could actually be useful, but chances are she'll be moving by the time we find her again. What can we do for this little man here? What? Okay. This is risky, this, but yeah, it's very risky because it's the last day of the actual season. Ah, so we only want spears. Fair enough. Dumb idea, but what the heck. So all we got was Dynasty reputation. I'm really looking for... the actual seeds, and I've a sneaking suspicion I've got to go up to here. Probably up to Rolnicker. I'm sure Alvin used to sell them on. Pretty sure he did. There's usually 2 people out here in the fields, including Elwyn. Nope, no sign of anybody. That's a pity because it's spring, you see, and I wanted to at least plant something. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get up to there in time. Ooh, exotic goods. Bornega. Ah, rats. It's 3:20, and I really want to get back to here, because if I can persuade... I've got a name already. It's terrible. Matilda. If I can persuade her, I can boost her affection any higher. That I can get her to marry me. Then we can start looking into getting an heir now that... But as I say, I really could have done with some seeds, in which case I think I might just pay off the taxes, because it doesn't look as though I'm going to get anywhere near anywhere else to actually buy anything anyway. Yeah, it doesn't even give me a choice, you see. But if you don't pay them, as I say, you end up going into debt. It rolls over. I think it rolls over at the end of the year if you haven't paid it by the end of the year. It's kind of strange because it tells you you've got to pay it. It's due in spring. It kind of gives me the impression... Oh, straight, don't tell me it's Edward. Oh, Hoobar. Yeah, it's Edwin. Rats. How much money have we got left? Oh, I've got 127. Oh, okay. Right, I'll tell you what, because I can make carrots, so if I've only got enough yeah, I only had enough just a few, because I don't have enough fertilizer. I mean, the fertilizer, you can see it's about 7.5. But it's 3 for manure. I'll have to find out how much you need versus 7.5, so it's, if you need more than 2 manure, or more than 3 manure to turn it into fertilizer, it's probably cheaper to just buy the bulk fertilizer. Right, let's see if we can get back to our little village in time. Right then, so now we're back here. Let's put some of these things away. I'll go and get my bag, and then what we can at least do is plant these seeds. That in slot 8. Right, so we've got a little bag, and the only thing we've got are black carrots. So the carrots, I quite like these because you can do spring to autumn and then winter to summer, so that's quite useful, that. So let's go and put our little seeds in the ground. Right, so that's it. So we've just got to wait for these to grow. So what state are we in at the minute? So Matilda is up here somewhere. Presumably she's out chopping the trees now. Yeah, you can see that. See her there, she's over here. We've completely bypassed him. Like, we've overtaken him. He seems to be taking forever to get here. It's as far as I recall, when you roll into the next season, they'll automatically appear. Right, let's have a quick chat with her. So, yeah, that was a bit of a pity. I mean, I wanted to try this exotic goods idea so you can, gift her something. Let's go to this, see if we can convince her, because we're up to 83%. Oh, no! No, it's not, that's it. Oh, Fubar. Nope, she won't let me talk to her now. Oh, no! So she's not overly impressed by our dress. Right. So that means I'm going to have to wait until the next season then. Oh, well, still I'll be. Right, so I'm just thinking where we're at. So we've now got ourselves a workshop. I mean, what I could do, to be honest, I could actually hire somebody. Because once we marry her, it frees up oh, well, assuming she will, to be honest. It would actually free up a house. I mean, you can have two people in a house, a man and a woman, just because of the game mechanics. So I could, for example, have somebody who's working in this workshop and just producing things like those wicker baskets, because we do get quite a bit for them, and all we need is the actual sticks. So as long as someone is collecting sticks, that's great. I mean, if we go out to the mines, we can start making some good stuff. And there's quite a few tools you can sort of make here for like stone tools and wooden tools. Over here it's going to be the metal tools like the bronze, the coppers and the iron. But yeah, I really need to get out there and probably build a mine. But to start making some money, I'm quite tempted to just get somebody in here who's just constantly making things like those little wicker baskets, because they're pretty easy enough to get. The sticks. Definitely tempting. But that's all for another episode.